Hi, I am sex and relationship coach Caitlin B, and today I'm here to talk about a little subject known as the Devil's Three-Way, which is an unfortunate name because this might actually be the most fun three-way. Actually, this might as easily be called the Heavenly Three-Way, and I'm going to tell you not just why, but also how to enjoy this fairly common sexual fantasy and even more common sexual practice. Before I jump in there, why don't you head down there and give this video a thumbs up because it's about to get so real. In fact, give it 2 thumbs up. Ding. Okay, what is a Devil's Three-Way? A Devil's Three-Way is a three-way that involves 1 woman and 2 men. And I don't know where it got the name Devil's Three-Way, except for that there's a lot of common fears about men having sex with the same person in the same room. It's like, oh, we have so much homophobia in our culture that men are honestly afraid to even be sexual around other men, and especially to like be having sex with another man present. I think that's why I got the name, but honestly, it could also be called the MMF three-way, or we could call it a bajillion different things. Basically, what we're talking about here is 1 girl with 2 guys. Now, why are we talking about this? Well, number 1, three-way is a common fantasy. Most people that I speak to, and myself included, have a fantasy about having sex with 2 people at the same time. It's very common, and it's actually pretty normal. Like, it's normal in the sense that people do it. And there's not a whole lot of like things that we could consider normal. I really hate the word normal when it comes to sex, but this combination of people having sex together is actually pretty normal, pretty standard, pretty common. A lot of people do it, and more importantly, even more people enjoy it. And it's one of the easiest three-ways to set up. So say you have a fantasy of having a three-way or a threesome or a menage a trois, and you want to make that a reality. Well, this is one of the easiest ways for you to do that. I just can't come up with any reason not to, or I can come up with a couple conditions that you shouldn't, but I'll get into that later. First, what principles are at play here? Well, number 1, it's easier to find a man who's DTF, aka willing to have sex, than it is to find a woman. There's a whole bunch of reasons about that. I know I'm painting with a broad stroke, but I don't think I'm telling you anything that you don't already know. If I told you to go outside and find 3 people who are willing to have sex right now, today, like go upstairs and bang it out, I guarantee it would be easier to find 3 men, heterosexual men, than it would be to find 3 heterosexual women. So it's easier to find 2 men that are down to have sex than it is to find 2 women. And therefore, this three-way is just like statistically easier to make happen. Another principle at play here is that in this combination of bodies, a woman has multiple places that she can receive 2 penises. She's got a mouth, an anus, a vagina. She's got 2 hands. There's a lot of opportunity there for 1 woman to be sexual with 2 men at the same time. Whereas in the other threesome, the one where you're talking about having 2 women with 1 man, he's only got 1 penis. He's got 2 hands, so maybe he can like pleasure both of them with his fingers and manual stimulation, but ultimately he can really only be inserting into 1 partner at a time. The other woman's got to either enjoy that other woman, or she's got to be off playing by herself, or whatever. The mechanics, like the math, works out better in the male-male, female three-way than it does the other way around. There's just, in my mind, the way that I conceive of sex in this way, there's more to be done. There's more pleasure to be had in this particular configuration. One other thing that's really important for you to know is that it's not gay. I'm not even gonna bother going into it because even if it was gay, there's nothing wrong with being gay or enjoying a little bit of gay sex. It doesn't make you gay, it doesn't make you bi. You can enjoy bodies, okay? Pleasure feels good, pleasure exists in bodies. Now, I'm a bit of a hedonist. I believe that what feels good is good. Like that which feels authentically good to us, like ethically, morally enjoyable, delightful, good, is an indication of something that inherently is good. And I believe that putting bodies together in a way that brings everyone pleasure is inherently good. Listen, we live in a world that's really devoid of pleasure. There's a whole lot of pain out there. You can go find plenty of pain, okay? You can find tons of examples of pain everywhere, but you can't find nearly as much pleasure as your body can take. Like, there's so much more pleasure to be had. You are a being that's got all of this pleasure capacity, and you're not hitting it, and that is a shame. And I really just want you to enjoy that. So gay or not, who friggin' cares? Go enjoy sex. God, it's your birthright. And then finally, because of stereotypes about women and stereotypes about men, I think it's easier to include a male friend or a male acquaintance into your sex life than it is to find and include a female friend or a female acquaintance into your sex life. Now, you might say I'm really limited in my thought on that. I'm just throwing that out there as one more reason that this three-way in particular is a little bit easier for you to arrange and potentially enjoy than a different configuration. And that's true whether or not you're a male-female partner or if you're two male friends and you're looking for a female partner. It's just a little bit easier in my mind to bring in a second dude than it is to bring in a second woman. Those are the principles. Those are the fundamentals at play. Now let's get to the good stuff. How do we make it happen? Because all this talk about threesomes without the how-to guide for actually enjoying said threesome, it would be really frustrating. Let's get into it. Number one, if you are a couple, or even if you're two dude friends trying to bring in a woman, ask yourself, is this relationship healthy? Is this relationship in a good, healthy place where we want to involve another person in it? Because if the answer is no, you cannot, you should not, I could never condone you bringing another person into your sex life. You've got to get your shit figured out before you start exposing other people to it. The end. No, nothing after that. Having another dude in the bedroom is not going to fix your sex life. It's not going to fix your relationship. It's not going to fix your marriage. It's not going to make your sex life better. It's not going to make your friendship better. It's not going to do anything except for maybe make your bodies feel good and potentially complicate your relationship. So you need to consider the state of your relationship and the state of the relationship that you're in with the person who you're thinking about bringing into the bedroom with you. So if you already know there's something going on there, something that doesn't feel quite right, don't do it. Look for the right person and wait until your relationship is in a good and healthy place where it can take the additional complexity of a whole another living being. Number two, negotiate your boundaries, including barriers. Now, what do I mean by this? Your boundaries are the things that you are not cool with happening, and alternatively, the things that you are cool with happening. Let's talk about an example here. Say you're a male-female couple, and you're bringing a male friend into the bedroom with you, and she's totally okay with you choking her as her boyfriend, but she's not okay with any other dudes choking her. That's a good example of a boundary. Another boundary might be she only has anal sex with me. Another boundary might be that the two guys decide that they're cool with everything, but they really don't want to touch. Or maybe they are okay with touching, but they don't want to touch penises. They just want to touch other body parts. Or maybe they are okay with touch penises, but they're not okay with any oral sex happening between them. Or a million other combinations of things. And it really will be to your advantage if you take some time before you go into the threesome to think about what it is that you are okay with and what you're not okay with. Like, what would make you uncomfortable if it were to happen? If this guy starts to take your female partner and like just have one-on-one sex with her, well, you know, you're in the other room or you stop to go get a glass of water or something, is that going to make you uncomfortable? If it is, that's great. Like, that's totally okay. Just say it in advance so that the other two people in the session, in the sex act, don't accidentally overstep a boundary. And also, even if you do the most amazing job of brainstorming all the possible combinations of things that might make you uncomfortable, doesn't mean that you're not going to be surprised by a boundary you didn't even know that you had. So leave space to discover boundaries and be cool with those popping up and have a plan for how to deal with them if they do and vocalize them if something happens that makes you uncomfortable. And then barriers. How are you going to do safer sex? How are you going to negotiate condoms? Is one guy going to use a condom for every sex act? Is he going to use it just for oral sex? Is he going to use it just for vaginal sex, just for anal sex? Is he going to switch condoms regularly? Are both guys going to use condoms? If that's the case, that's cool because the woman can switch back and forth. It's just her body, so she can have sex with one guy and then have sex with the other. There's no like body fluids switching around. It's very different if it's two women having sex with the same guy. He's got to switch a condom each time either one of them starts to have any kind of penetration with him. So those are just some other things to keep in mind. You want to be clear on that before you go into it, because once you're in the sex act, once your brain starts like doing that like soupy arousal thing that our brain does where it's like, I don't even care anymore, just do it to me. Not the time to make decisions. Consent can be taken away, but if you said no when you were sober and now you're saying yes during the sex act, it can't be. It's just a good rule to say if it was no before we started, it's still a no now because you don't want to regret any of your decisions. Any decisions that were made in the heat of moment later, just decide on all that stuff beforehand and go have fun with it. Make it work. And also consider how you're going to do aftercare. Like, is the third person going to sleep over at your house? Or the three of you going to sleep in the same bed? Are you going to part ways afterward? Are we all going to cuddle together? Are we gonna, is cuddling something special that's just for the couple if they're bringing in their male friend? If all three of you, you know, if it's two male friends and you're bringing in a woman, are you two cool with like cuddling and maybe she wants to cuddle with one of you more than the other? I don't know, but think about how you could deal with the post-sex time and how you can make that time feel like really good and like make everybody feel really great and really loved and really cared for after they've done this sort of vulnerable sex act. And then finally, how to find someone to be the third in your threesome. Well, you can approach friends, you can approach acquaintances, you can let it be known that you are interested in doing that and see who else is down, like who's fascinated, who wants to be that person for you, for this couple, for this friendship. Or you can go online and use apps such as Feeld, F-E-E-L-D, that has different combinations of coupledom and of situationships that you can search for. So like I could put in, I'm in a relationship with a man, we're looking for a female who is down for some threesome action and not for dating or romance. Like you can be that specific and you should be that specific. You get an idea of what it is that you're looking for and then go find that. And also be patient because it might not be just the first person who shows up, but I promise that if you wait until the right person shows up, there's like just so much fun to be had. To recap, the devil's three-way, aka the male-male female three-way. Why you should have it? Because it feels good, and statistically it's easier to find a guy to engage in a sex act with a couple or two guys who are interested in having sex with one female than it is to do the other way around. It also, the way that bodies work, a woman can be pleasuring to men more easily than a man can be pleasuring to women. In order to set it up, have some really great conversations first. Don't engage if you're not in already a healthy and stable relationship with at least the other person, and that you know that the third person who you're bringing in is also healthy and stable and capable of consenting and engaging in a way that's going to bring pleasure and not pain, and joy and not too much complexity into an existing relationship. And then finally, go have fun. Like, enjoy it. It's not gonna be perfect. Somebody's gonna fart or make a weird noise or get a leg cramp, and like, that's all okay. Sex is an opportunity for us to be fun. It's a canvas on which we can paint on. And if you open your mind to enjoying this kind of threesome, you open up a whole nother section of the rainbow for you to paint colors. Wait, for you to paint with more colors. Paint with all the colors is what I'm trying to say. Paint with all of the colors. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Caitlin B. Please subscribe to my channel for more advice on how to have the best sex life ever. And like and subscribe while you're at it. Bye-bye.